We've told you about the war, we've told you about the death toll, we've also told you about the citizens. But what about the foreigners that are stuck in Israel? What happens to them now? Can they still leave? Well, for now, most airlines have cancelled their flights to Israel. This includes the likes of Virgin Atlantic, Air France, Lufthansa, Emirates, United Airlines, Delta Airlines and American Airlines. Basically, a third of all flights to Tel Aviv have been cancelled. The ones that are flying are full of two kinds of people, journalists and reservists.
I think we were very well prepared in the army after 3 years of military service. I saw a lot of stuff. I think I'm ready for war. God is with us and everything will be fine.
So the reservists are flying back into the country. They want to fight the war that Israel is now fighting. But foreigners want out. And many of them are pleading for help. Their home countries have responded. They're scrambling to rescue their citizens, aka evacuations. Canada has about 1,000 citizens in Israel. It's a very small number, and Canada is sending its military aircraft to rescue them. Then there are about 4,500 Germans in Israel. They too will be evacuated. Hungary evacuated some 215 people. Albania has rescued 40 of its nationals. Mexico is flying 300 of its citizens back home. 192 South Koreans have flown out of Tel Aviv. More citizens are expected to be evacuated in the coming days.
We were on the beach at first. Then we had to hide, run as fast as possible. Then at the hotel, we were caught by sirens and an attack again and had to shelter in a bunker.
But not all countries plan to evacuate citizens. And this list, the second list, includes the likes of the UK and the United States. Now, there is no exact number of how many American citizens live in Israel. In 2021, the figure was around 200,000. That's around 2.2% of the Israeli population, Americans. 14 of them have been killed by Hamas in Saturday's attack. Several others have been taken hostage. The UK too has more than 60,000 British nationals in Israel and Gaza. More than 10 of them are dead. A bigger number, we are told, has been taken hostage. Now, these countries, the US and the UK, are usually the first ones to issue advisories and to evacuate their people. But in this case, they have not announced any emergency operations, perhaps in a show of solidarity with Israel. Same with India, no evacuations yet. India has about 18,000 citizens in Israel. That's a small number, and these are primarily caregivers, students and workers. There are no plans to evacuate them yet. But the government of India has issued an advisory. If you are in Israel, the advice is to stay vigilant. Plus, there is a 24/7 emergency helpline. We will flash the number on the screen. This is the number you can contact if you need assistance. If you're an Indian, you need assistance in Israel, call this number. Meanwhile, several foreign nationals are also being held captive by Hamas. There are no details of their whereabouts. Most of them are believed to be in Gaza. Their families have lost contact with them. Some have identified relatives from videos on social media. Others are still waiting for concrete information. But right now, their governments do not know very much. So the situation is still tense and volatile, and it will impact the whole world in more ways than one. Remember, we are talking about an escalating conflict in West Asia. Even though Israel is not an oil-producing or oil-supplying country, this conflict is spilling over, and it will have a direct bearing on the oil market. Right after the attack on Saturday, oil prices surged about 4%. It has since shrugged off those gains. Gold prices too have gone up by 1%, but generally market reaction has been muted. And that said, industry experts are still on the edge. That's because no one knows how long this war will go on or what shape it will take. Will there be an oil supply disruption or a wider conflict in West Asia?